Hey, what is up guys? My name is Guillaume, this is Thomann's Guitars and Basses, and welcome to this video and this series of video where I basically just assemble pedal boards, try and give you guys some tips and tricks and best practices to how to make the best out of these different boards. You guys seem to enjoy them, so I'm going to keep making those videos, and today I'm really excited because I've been looking forward to playing this brand a lot more than I have in the past, and they're finally available at Thomann, and I'm talking about Mythos Pedals, Mythos Effects. So this is going to be the victim for today's board. I'm going to take a bunch of the pedals that we have currently in stock. Now, this is not all of them, and at the time you're watching this, there might be more, in which case there will be a link in the description box down below. But right now, I already have a little bit of an assortment of what Zach has been doing. So I'll be putting a mini board together, trying to get the essentials for like your blues, rock, type of guitar, but this is what I play. So like I'm not going to give you like a prog metal pedal board yet because I couldn't play with it. But this is going to be fun. So I'm going to start by introducing the board because I always forget. This is the Daddario XPND, so this is the short version. The cool thing about these boards, if you haven't seen them before, is that they expand, hence the name. Which is going to come in really handy because we'll also be talking about a different sort of practice to what I've been doing until now, and which is going to be a top-mounted power supply on the pedal board, which is really handy for those units where you don't have so much real estate at the bottom. And yeah, it just shows you like a different take on assembling this board. Speaking of, let's introduce our pedals for today. And our first pedal for today is the mini, absolutely cute and gorgeous, but mighty Golden Fleece. This is one of my absolute favorite fuzzes. It is somewhat based on a fuzz face, but not really, because it's a 2-transistor circuit. If you want more information, check out the link. But it's an absolutely awesome, very furry and rich kind of fuzz in a super mini tiny enclosure with one knob that is the only knob you need, and it says more. And the correct position for it is right there. So that's going to be my first pedal on the board as well as in the signal chain for this build. Our pedal number 2 is no other than the Mjolnir Overdrive. This is probably one of Zach's most popular creations. It is a take on the Clone Centaur circuit. Really well done, really cool. That's the new updated designed version of it. I think it looks super sick, and like you look at the pedal, you kind of know what that pedal is going to do. It's going to do the clone thing, doing it very well, and that's going to be my second pedal on the board today. Which takes us to pedal number 3, and that is the Olympus Overdrive. This is very much a sort of more original creation. That is a very ampy sounding overdrive. It's not over the top, but it does have quite a bit of gain on tap. But you get that very sort of natural attack and reaction. It can feel like a little harsh at times, but I think it's a really nice, very organic sounding type of overdrive. So that's going to be after the fuzz and the Mjolnir in the signal chain, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. And to conclude our mini pedal board is the Oracle Analog Echo. This pedal it's going to be my first time playing it today, and I'm very excited as well because I've seen a ton of reviews on it. I love sort of slightly modulated analog delays, and I think that's exactly what that's going to be. I wish we'd have a reverb already, but we don't, so that's going to be the last pedal in the chain. I'll be using the Fender Blues Deluxe as usual, so I'll be using some of the reverb on the amp at all time. You can also control the tap tempo with a little expression switch on the side if you want to do so. But in the spirit of keeping this board as compact as possible, I'm just going to use that pedal. That's going to be the last in chain for today, but we're not done introducing the board because, as I said in the beginning, this time around I'm going to be doing a top-mounted power supply sort of take on a pedal board, which is something that is extremely popular on a lot of very flat, very sort of slim design pedal boards because you just don't have any real estate underneath the board. So I've seen a lot of that in the various pedal board groups on various social medias I follow. But a couple of tips to do that. I'm going to be using the Ciocks DC5 power supply. And you'll realize that it's just about the size of a pedal if you put it vertically. Now, I do not recommend doing that. And if you do use a top-mounted power supply sort of solution, try and keep it as far away from the edges as you can. And the reason for that is that you're going to be using potentially straight barrel plugs such as those, and all of a sudden, that hangs off of the side of the pedal board. And to the extent that it's possible, you really, really want to avoid that, because that's going to be the main issue. If anything clips on that pedal board, those barrel connectors, as much as jack connections for what matters, are not going to slip out. They're going to break. And that's a really, really bad time. If you spent like a certain amount of money on a good power supply, you really don't want to step on those cables and break the whole thing, basically. So I'm going to use the very handy dandy feature of that Daddario Expand and expand it. And make sure that I have enough room on this side to fit my power supply this way. Because that way I know that my power input is going to be on the left, nice and free to go into mains, basically, and I'll have enough real estate to have all of my barrels here without anything sort of hanging loose off of the board. So that's definitely something you want to pay attention to. I know sometimes in the spirit of keeping things as small as possible, you're going to have some cables dangling off of the side, but in the same spirit, the pedal should not really be there as much as, you know, if you have the space to put it there, to put the pedals here and make sure that those barrels are not hanging off of the side of the power supply, it's the best thing you can do, in my humble opinion. But with that said, let's put the pedals on the board, start cabling, and we'll have a look at the final result just before playing them. All right, awesome. We got power to everything. As I mentioned, the power supply is mounted sideways so that nothing's hanging off the sides of the board. It's borderline okay with the those plugs. Those are specific plugs. Obviously, if you use like lower profile patch cable plugs, that will not be an issue. But those cables were just the right size, so it's kind of still, it's visually very satisfying. I'm super happy with the board. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be plugging that into the Fender Blues Deluxe with a little bit of reverb and give you guys some sounds. I don't know what you guys think. This is everything. Like my genuine, honest to God gut reaction after turning everything off is like, this is it. This is everything I need. Like, I don't need any more pedals. Why do I bother with more pedals? Like, this is absolutely sick. I've been looking forward to playing more Mythos pedals for a long time now. So they just live up to their name and reputation, really. Beautiful, beautiful pedals. All 4 of these, as well as everything that I'm using around the board, will be linked in the description below. Go check out that link anyways, because there might be more offerings by Mythos at that point in time, whenever you are watching that video. While you're down there, let me know what you thought. Let me know what you think of these. Are you rocking some Mythos pedals already? Were you waiting for them to be more readily available in Europe? In which case, now is your time. Don't miss out. You need one, at least. Maybe 2. Or more, we'll see. But yeah, while you're down there, please consider liking this video if you did. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on every other of the 17 videos we put out every week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.